reasons why I love you and none of them rhyme. 9 times 9, 81, Bonnie and Clyde. We got high and sat by the Wellington sign. I had one hell of a time, it's rock and roll to life.
Welcome to the Green Tea, Freedom and Truth channel. This is Tristan. It's good to have the Green Tea team back for this Friday, the 4th of September 2020 edition of the video log. A big thank you and much appreciation for everyone who has liked, shared, commented and subscribed to the channel. And I really appreciate people sending me private messages, sending me information, keeping me informed, sharing with me what is on top for you. So a big thank you to those people who send me lots of information privately. It is much appreciated. One of the Green Tea team members in the last video suggested I get a gimbal for my taking the videos. That is a great idea. If anyone has a gimbal they are not using, a smartphone gimbal, and would like to connect with me and maybe donate that to the channel, my personal email is in the description box below. If anyone also wants to contribute and support the channel, there is a link in the description box below. It is unusual times. Today we are talking about a pregnant woman in Australia, Victoria, Melbourne, Australia, being arrested for putting a post online about a peaceful protest for against the lockdowns and for freedom and liberty. Police came into her home and arrested her. And also we're going to be talking about why the authorities and the governments need rule following zombies, why they invest so much of their time, their money, their media energy in programming people to follow the rules, follow the narrative, and really enforce the rules for themselves. So a 28-year-old woman was arrested for posting about a peaceful march upcoming in Victoria, Australia. They came into her home, they got a warrant, they handcuffed this woman and took her down to the police station. For what? For making a Facebook post about a peaceful protest for people to get together and show their disapproval for the draconian dictatorship style rules of a lockdown. People losing their livelihoods, people losing their rights of freedom, freedom of movement, all of this sort of things. And I just want people, if maybe you think this is a correct thing, think back to, we have been psychologically programmed for months now, months in the media. It has been constant. V word, V word, V word. You know, government keep us safe. They know best. You know, any measure is okay. The government can use any measure it sees fit. They do not have to consult with the public. And yeah, but there was the Black Lives Matter protest. That's really the only break in V word 19 programming we have had in the last 7-8 months. It has been V word bad, government save us, government knows best, and then it was white people are racist, Black Lives Matter. That's been the narrative, the psychological operation we have been getting. So if this woman was promoting Black Lives Matter protests, she would have been okay. Because as it was when Black Lives Matter were protesting, and supporters of that organisation and group, the police turned a blind eye in Australia, in New Zealand. They posts promoting that were turned a blind eye. People just let that happen. So why then? Because it's not government approved. It is not a government approved protest. The government approves of the Black Lives Matter protest. but they don't approve of people standing up against their rules, their laws and that type of thing. So it is very hypocritical, you know, an innocent person putting up a post about, you know, a peaceful protest, peacefully people getting together and connecting, just showing their disapproval and what their government is doing. And like in New Zealand and most Western countries, we have the freedom of speech and we have civil liberties. And I'd just like to read this about freedom of speech in New Zealand, and I'm sure it's similar in Australia. Everyone has the right to freedom of expression, including the right to seek, receive, and impart information and opinions of any kind in any form. You know, freedom of speech. Yeah, impart information and opinions of any kind in any form. And this really highlights the hypocrisy and the, you know, the left-leaning narrative that is being allowed to be pushed by the governments at this time. And I just, and I saw people on that were defending the police, saying that she was breaking the law, she should be that, and they were comparing it to World War II, as if a bombing raid was coming over and someone would turn the lights on and would make them a target for bombing. This is the psychological operation that we have been under for all of this time. They need rule-following zombies who do not question the narrative, who believe what they see, and they socially help enforce the rules. The few in power, the few elected officials in power, need rule followers to help enforce the rules. The few police or the few army people and the few government people, there's not enough of them. That's why they invest their time and energy and money in programming the people. You know, the news, all of these social media, all the little bars under websites that say, you know, V-word 19 update, you know, all of this stuff that has just been the psychological operation to program people to accept things that they would never normally accept. A law-abiding woman, 28-year-old, putting up a post about a peaceful liberty and freedom anti-lockdown protest, was handcuffed in her home. And anyone who cannot see that is a breach of personal rights and freedoms. It is an overstepping of government powers. If anyone thinks cosigns on that, it's a tick to the mind control programming that the media has been doing. They have done a great job. Yeah. If you think that is appropriate behavior, you know, they didn't come around and say, hey, that's, you know, just take it down, it's not correct. You know, they handcuffed her. They took her to the police station in Australia for that post. And the thousands and thousands of posts of the other protests, Black Lives Matter, thousands of people protesting, that wasn't a problem. Okay, we can see a narrative, we can see how they're trying to program people, and they need those rule following zombies, people that are not critically thinking and not seeing. The CDC came out this week saying that 6% of fatalities of all of these numbers, only 6% of the fatalities of the V word they can put down specifically as V word specific fatalities with no other causational factors. The average is 2.6 comorbidities per every other fatality of the V word. So yeah, sick people, people who are fighting other health battles, they are at high risk. 6% of those, all of those numbers are the only ones they can say these people specifically passed away due to V-word 19. In New Zealand, there is 0 people they can say that the V-word 19 was the sole cause of their fatality. There was other factors, you know, age, illness, other sickness, all of this sort of thing. It is, yeah, and we need to wake up You know, we need to unite, support each other. You know, they can, you know, the Black Lives Matter, this big swell of information and people, and it's going in with the government narrative. They let that go. So the more people who share peaceful protest posts, or when they see that there is a groundswell of people, they will not be able to pick them off, you know, like this woman was picked off, you know, made an example of, you know, if you post this, we're going to come into your house pregnant, no matter what, we're going to cuff you and take you, you know. Yeah. Are we going to take a knee for that? Are we going to, because that's the laws are here in New Zealand. They can do that here, you know. They can come in, militarily come into our places and do this sort of thing. And we need to unite, support each other, even if we have small differences of opinions. You know, we can agree on some core things, and yeah, support each other in this, you know, our democracy, our freedoms, our rights, our liberties as free sovereign beings. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Have courage, speak your truth, support each other, have faith and have fun. Peace out.